Every journey begins with a single step. Ever notice in life that when you are ready for that change, that it magically appears in front of you, you start seeing it everywhere? There's a saying that when the student is ready, the teacher will come. So I think myself and the people of Windsor and Essex County are ready for that change. So start looking in the mirror, Windsor. Stop pointing the finger at everybody else, because it all starts with you. My name is Larry Brun, and this is the Lifestyle with Larry show. I'm not gonna lock you in a gym for 6 months and force you to eat wheat germ. There's no disqualifications or weigh-ins at the end of the day. This is your life, and it's real. Remember, you are the only one that can change your life. And Lifestyle with Larry show will be your guide. We travel all over Windsor and Essex County, gathering information from some of the best health, diet, and fitness gurus in the region, including great meal ideas from local chefs and practical advice from local coaches and athletes. Lifestyle with Larry is about solutions, answers to health and fitness issues, diet and exercise. But deeper than that, it's about emotional, mental, and spiritual well-being. This is how the show's gonna work. First, we're gonna give you small tips in order for you to make big changes in your life. So pick one or pick 6, but make small changes, and that's how you'll get longevity out of your new lifestyle. This is actually a good opportunity right now to tell you to log everything down. When you write everything down, that is a contract with yourself, and it gives you an awareness of what you're doing with your life. So let's get started. People think that there's a secret, like there's a magical pill, or a magical diet, or a magical cleanse, but that's not the case. Life is water. So ask yourself this: how much water are you drinking in a day?
I mean, I try to drink as much as I can, but if I don't make the required amount, it's not a big deal for me.
I try to get about 8 to 10 glasses of water in a day.
2 bottles of water.
Oh, I guess about 6 glasses, maybe 7.
Not that much, because I am more of a coffee drinker.
Actually, the latest research is showing that we need half of our body weight in ounces of water per day.
No, I didn't know that.
That means if I weigh 220 pounds, I'm gonna need 110 ounces of water a day. And if you have caffeinated beverages, you're gonna need a bit more water too, because caffeine acts as a diuretic in our body and it gets rid of water. Also, when you exercise, the more you sweat, the more water you're gonna need to replace that. And if you're taking any prescription medications, you're gonna need some water because of the chemical reactions happening in your body.
We take medications, certain medications like blood pressure pills and other medications actually make you a little bit more thirsty.
Okay.
And so for those patients, we might recommend them to take additional water.
You're thirsty, drink water. Water is water. Water is not juice. Water is not soda. Water is not milk. Water is water. And we could talk about quality later, but make sure you get your adequate amount of water. Do not mistake hunger for thirst. Do not mistake hunger for hydration. So, the solution to pollution is dilution. Water is actually your best cleanse. So get it right now. In fact, get off your butt, go get some water, and join me right. This is our nutrition segment of the show. So remember small tips, and also remember awareness. So the tip with nutrition is be aware of what you eat. The thing is, here's the rule. If it's man-made, don't eat it. I just made it easy for you. Why are there so many books on nutrition? Because nobody's gotten it yet. Hi, I'm Larry Brun, and we're here on a beautiful Windsor day, raining outside, but we're used to this. And we're here talking about nutrition. And you'd think you'd find me in a grocery store. So we're in a grocery store, let's see what's man-made, what isn't. But no, I'm here at the University of Windsor Community Garden, and we're here talking about soil. and the importance of soil as far as your nutrition goes, because it all starts here. There's no cookie tree. What is the importance of soil in relation to the nutrition of the food?
Well, Larry, I'm not a scientist, but I have been reading up on this. I've been an organic gardener for years, and the whole premise of our organic gardening is that you start by feeding the soil. And it's been recently, since I've been involved in this garden, that I've started to take a closer look at soil science. I think there's an emotional response to organic gardening, that you can see our compost pile over here. Well, if you just put compost on it, or if you just put manure in it and don't use chemicals, like everything is okay. But when you look at soil science, it's all chemicals. Organic chemicals. When you go to your doctor, you get the various nutrients and things analyzed in your body, like what's your potassium level, are you low in iron? And organisms are organisms. So soil and plants are the same thing. They've got the same kind of organic chemicals that need to be in balance in order to have healthy plants that fight off disease, that in turn produce good quality food at the end of it.
That's exactly what happens in people, and it's reflective. Life as human beings is reflective of the soil.
Yeah, that's the point. I guess, Larry, we're in agreement with that. So what we're going to attempt to achieve here is to learn from the soil analysis and work towards helping to balance the soil. So when we have everything working in unison, so the pH level, that we are creating an environment that supports earthworms, fungal balance with bacterial balance, all of those factors come together, then the plants are healthy. Then you have less susceptibility to insect damage. You've got less susceptibility to fungal problems. You've got healthier plants, which presumably are producing healthier food for people.
But actually feeling better and having it, you have to sort of look at the quality of the food. And so we always recommend patients eat canned food guide. And the canned food guide sort of recommends that you eat the least processed food possible. So the more natural it comes from the ground, the better it is for you.
Everybody's in there reading labels and doing all this stuff. You see, fruits, vegetables, I mean, you don't have to worry about reading labels because they don't come in labels. They're not packaged. Like olives. Of course, there's an olive tree, right? But they might put something in it, like a preservative or something. The more it is made by nature, the better it is for you. Not for something like, say, cereal. There's no cereal tree, right? But just be aware of what is man-made and what isn't. That is your nutrition tip for this show.
If we don't have things in balance within our body, you do get prone to certain problems, health-wise.
Exactly.
So it's related to that. It's the same reason we take fish oil or vitamins or other kinds of supplements. If we haven't got that from our food, we need to get it in there so we're properly balanced. Ideally, you get it from your food. So that's the principles with organic gardening. Ideally, we're putting the kinds of things into the soil organically that will become available to the plants.
You never eat anything by accident. Sleep is so important that we need to regenerate and recover our bodies so we can accomplish our goals and our dreams the next day. We went on the streets of Windsor and asked, how much sleep on average are you getting a night?
Maybe 6 hours.
I usually get 7.
Roughly about 10 hours.
Not enough.
So sleep is essential for life, so you cannot survive without sleep. And a lot of the illnesses that we have are either caused by poor sleep or exacerbated or made worse by poor sleep. Wow. So for example, things like fibromyalgia, people complain about chronic pain problems. Really, they find out that these are sleep problems, that people don't get quality sleep. So the quantity is not there and the quality is not there.
By 10 p.m. at night, we need to be in bed. I know what you're thinking, I got stuff to do, and it's all these man-made things that keep us awake, and computers and light bulbs and televisions. But you go camping, you're asleep at 9 o'clock as soon as the sun goes down. We have rhythms of nature. As soon as it gets dark, we start producing melatonin. Get to bed, get to sleep, recover. What's better, quality or quantity then?
I think you need both, first of all, but a lot of people, they'll tell you they sleep 12 hours a day, but the quality is not there.
Right.
And that's why they feel, they tell doc, I slept 12 hours, but I wake up so tired. And that's usually a sign that they're not getting quality sleep.
Right.
And so really we work really hard on sleep hygiene. And when we talk about sleep hygiene, it's trying to improve the sleep. So things that we tell patients is, to only go to sleep when they're tired, right? Not to sit in bed and, toss and turn.
Right.
So we do that. We also make sure that the room is quiet, that there's no lighting, keeps them up, no noise, anything like that.
Right.
And the other aspect that's really important to sleep is physical activity.
Right.
So we always encourage patients to do physical activities during the daytime.
Right.
That makes them physically tired at night, so they fall asleep.
Right.
A lot of people spend their whole day in front of a computer and don't really get physically tired.
Right.
So when they go home and sleep, they don't.
Right.
The other aspect about sleeping is also psychological, right? When people have a lot of stress in their life, that sort of keeps them up late at night. So you have to deal with the physical and the mental aspect of sleep.
10 p.m. to 2 a.m., your body recovers physically. And from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m., your body recovers mentally. That's why when you go to bed late, like midnight or 1 a.m., you get up the next day, you're hauling butt, You're tired, you're exhausted, you need coffee again, external source of energy. So get to bed on time, okay? And get 8 hours of sleep a night, especially when it's dark. It should be pitch dark in your bedroom. If you hold your hand out in front, you shouldn't be able to see your hand. None of those dimmers going on, no computers, no TVs on, don't fall asleep with the TV. Dream, which means you got good quality sleep, and make sure your room is pitch dark. Do not underestimate the power of sleep. This is our movement section on the 6 foundational principles of health. Now, in the movement section, you should be able to move as a normal human being, pain-free. Movement is the expression of life. So we're going to take you through 7 primal patterns or primitive patterns that a human being should do in order to survive in the wilderness, per se. So this is Kylie, and we're going to take you through the patterns. Now, these are made up of 7 movements. Everything else is made up of combination of any of these 7 movements. So our first movement that we're going to do is a squat, okay? So Kylie's going to demonstrate a squat, and in order to squat properly, you should have proper alignment. Hips over knees, over toes. Okay, go down again, Kylie. She moves from the hips first. Her posture is beautiful. She's nice and tall, but her hips get below the knees. You should be able to take a dump in the woods, people. This is human movement, okay? And she's going, everything's pain-free, Kylie? Okay, squat is number 1. Our second one is a lunge. Okay, so demonstrate a lunge. Proper posture, her techniques, beautiful, and she's not moving all over the place. She has stability in her joints, so she's not collapsing under her own body weight. You should be able to support your own body weight in nature. Our third one is a bend, Kylie. Now a bend, knees are soft, and it's just as if she's going to pick up something out of the trunk of a car. These are normal movements you're going to do in life. Okay, so bend forward, she bends at the hips. It's like she's reaching back, reaching forward to pick something up. Her posture, she doesn't start rounding, doing things properly, and it's pain-free again, right? Okay, so our next one is twisting. So Kylie's going to do a twist, okay? And you should be able to rotate from the waist and reach back and look at something, even from the neck. There should be rotation happening. This is what happens in nature. Our next one, we should be able to do a push pattern, okay? Because certain things in life, we're going to be pushing. Now, Kylie's going to demonstrate, I'm going to stabilize her, and she's just going to do like a standing push-up. And this is a functional position in life because a push, just like all the other movements that we're doing, involves the whole body. There's no isolation in nature, okay? The full body works full body all the time, okay? Our sixth one is going to be a pull, okay? So grab an underhand grip, Kylie. Yep, just like that. Okay, so she's going to pull herself towards the bar. Okay, so that's a pull pattern. Okay, so our last pattern is just normal human gait, which is walking, jogging, or running. Sprint, 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 go, go. You should be able to do that pain-free because in nature we used to hunt, we used to gather, we used to travel. Okay, so those are our 7 primal patterns, and this is movement. We didn't say exercise. Okay, we didn't say working out. So as a word of advice, If you're not feeling pain-free in these movement patterns, it's probably time for you to seek some professional help, because use these 7 movement patterns as a gauge towards your health, because that's what this show is about, living better now. I have a definition, you might have your own definition. And our definition can evolve and change as we grow and experience life. My definition of spiritualism is taking responsibility for what we create moment to moment. And so our first lesson of spiritualism is going to be the definition between self-love and selfishness. So we're going to explain to you self-love, because if each of us takes care of ourselves individually, it's going to make a better community, and I'll show you how. We're going to get some water. We got a little bit of water experiment here. See, IPS stands for Inverse Priority Syndrome. And what we got going on in society now is we take care of our job first. We take care of our community first. And it's a learned behavior to give to society first. And then we come home and maybe we have some energy left to give to our relationship, to give to our children. And then whatever's left, if there's anything left over, we give to ourselves. We want to try and change that, because wouldn't you be the best possible parent or community or citizen if you took care of yourself first and took responsibility for what you believed in? So here's what we're going to do. Water is going to symbolize our energy. So if you take care of yourself first, if you eat the best, if you exercise the best, get enough sleep, drink your water, and only what you bring into a relationship, then when you overflow with energy, you can start giving that to relationship, giving it to your spouse, giving it to your children, giving it into whatever relationship we come into, okay? When you take care of yourself, you're brimming with energy, you're overflowing, and then it comes into relationship, because only when you are full and you know thyself, then it filters over into society. So the lesson for today is true spiritualism. Love yourself. And that is with a focus on what is best for the planet, is best for the whole, is best for everything.
Well, selflessness is where you give yourself to others. It's probably more in the line of Buddhism.
The thing about selfishness, though,
Well, sometimes if you're self-centered or you don't take into consideration the entire planet in some of your actions or things you think or do, it could affect other people in a negative way. So then, yes, that's probably being selfish or self-centered without taking into consideration the big picture.
but we tend to go to work first, so we put all of our energy into the all first. Boom. So when this is full, okay, then we tend to go home and give to our relationships. Whatever energy we have left, we give to our relationship, our spouse, our kids. Everything's just pulling our energy, draining our energy. Guess what? That leaves the I empty. And you need energy now. Where do we get this from? Let's see. Oh, I got some coffee here. Got some coffee here. A lot of people on the coffee. Here's some energy. And put some milk in there. There's some milk. Okay, we're starting to look to external sources of energy to get through our day, because we already gave it to our work and we already gave it to our relationships. What do we have left for ourselves? Oh, got a few more hours? It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Gotta get that sugar rush. Here we go. Oh, got a tough day. Oh, stress at the office. Got relationship problems. Got stress problems. Got work problems. Kids gotta be here at 5. Got traffic issues. Whatever. Oh, it's 5 o'clock. Oh, gotta wind down. Got the old vodka out. Gotta put that in the eye. Need some more energy. I gotta get through the evening. There's your toxic eye. Coffee, sugar, alcoholic, vodka, bunch of crap that you gave your energy away to, and you're filling it with false energy. And then you're wondering why you got arthritis and all kinds of disease. That's it right there. Because when it's cloudy, you can't see, you can't be enlightened, you have no transparency. Dump that out. Sorry about that, but I was trying to prove a point. We don't think of the importance of breathing until we lack oxygen. But let me tell you, oxygen is life. Which brings us to our next principle, which is breathing. We want to ask the questions, why should we pay attention to our breathing? How do we breathe properly? And what are the side effects of not breathing properly? We're at the downtown yoga studio because who better to talk about breathing than with yogis, some of the best breathers we know. So come on inside, we're going to talk about the benefits of breathing properly. Come on in. Now, breathing is automatic and it's one of our foundation principles. So why should we pay attention to our breathing? Why should we be aware of it?
Well, most people will say, I'm always breathing. I'd be dead if I wasn't breathing. Well, most people breathe shallow breaths if they're stressed or in a rush, or there's something going on in their lives that's really causing them a lot of stress or anxiousness. So the breath doesn't really go down deep enough to oxygenate the body and heal the body and cleanse the body like it should. To be aware of the breath and pay attention to the breath means that you're breathing consciously. So instead of unconsciously, you're really paying attention to the rate of your breath, the depth of your breath, and it's the quickest way to the present moment.
So what are the side effects then of breathing improperly or not breathing correctly?
You can cause a lot of stress in the body, which causes illness. And so if people are really stressed out, anxious, sad, upset, the body will go into this stress mode and will make the sympathetic nervous system fire up, and that can cause a lot of illness in the body and stress in the mind. And so what you want to try to do is breathe slower and deeper to get the parasympathetic nervous system active so the body will be less stressed.
How do you breathe correctly?
Proper way to breathing is to try to just take slower, deeper, fuller breaths, trying to oxygenate the entire body. When you breathe shallow, you're not taking in as much oxygen, so a lot of the side effects could be being tired, sick, not present. So the deeper you breathe, the healthier you're going to be mentally and physically.
If you're concentrating on your breathing, you only have one thought. You can't be thinking about the groceries, your kids, or anything like that. So the awareness of the breath and concentrating on your breathing is so important.
Yes, definitely. Most people are running to the past, to the future. They're not in the present moment, and they are exhausted by the end of the day because they're thinking so much. So when you quiet the mind, even for a few minutes a day, you're giving the mind a rest, and you can really pay attention to what you're doing in the present moment, giving yourself 100%.
Because North American society, we're always rushing around doing things, filling our plate. It's called a fight or flight mode, and it's that sympathetic nervous system, and you can't breathe deeply when you're running from a lion and you're constantly stressed. So take 10 deep breaths a day. Take a minute to yourself and concentrate on the breath. Very important.
Definitely. So breathe deep.
So breathe deep, practice your square breathing. I want to thank Gina and the Downtown Yoga Studio for sharing their expertise on breathing today. And practice at home and get back to us. In this segment of the show, we're going to look at the emails that you viewers have sent us. And this one comes from one of our viewers, and it's about water, and we covered some of that already. I've been drinking bottled water for years now, but with the concerns of plastics causing cancer, disease, etc., I know you talked about the water requirement, but what is the best type of water to drink? They sound a little bit confused, so this is a really good time to address quality of water, which we didn't touch on. Earlier we talked about what the water requirement that you need. I just wanted you to get the water that your body needs. Now we could address the quality of water. At this time, you think about the plastics was a really good tip. So you want to minimize plastics as much as possible, whether it be food or drink. Plastics can leach, there's research causing diseases, whatever. Just minimize plastic as much as possible. The best containers to purchase water and to store water in are stainless steel and glass. So if you can maximize those, minimize plastics, you're on your way. the second thing, when you're choosing a water, you want to get a water with a pH of about 7.0. If you're buying water, there's some good quality waters out there that will list the pH on the side. The pH is very important because closer to a 7.0 is very conducive to health in the body. It's not too acidic, it's not too alkaline. The second thing is the hardness factor. You want more of a hardness quality in the water. This can be checked on the label of the water, listing the calcium. If you add the calcium and the magnesium of the water, you'll get a total hardness factor. And you want to look at a hardness factor about 170 when you add those two factors together. So that's another way to get a good quality water. The next thing to look at is the parts per million, or ppm, of total dissolved salts in the water, or TDS. You're going to look for 300 parts per million of total dissolved salts in the water. And what this is your water should be as close to the earth as possible. That means it has the vitamins and minerals conducive to health. If you have a reverse osmosis system, that means your water is totally devoid of all the bad stuff, but also the good stuff. It's a totally clean water. So what we recommend you do there is add Celtic sea salt or some Himalayan salt to your water. And these salts are like, it's like a multivitamin, these salts. And don't go with the myth that salt is bad for you. That's another topic for another show. Your salt should have color. If you have a reverse osmosis water, add a Celtic salt, a gray salt to your water, or a pink Himalayan salt, and that'll give the life force back to the water. That'll give its minerals and vitamins that you need, the electrolytes that you need in order to become healthy. And these are basic little things that you can do every day. Doesn't take long to get a really good quality water. Let's review. Awareness. Awareness of each of the 6 principal foundations. So try to be aware of everything that you're doing, every moment of the day. For water, I want you to get half your body weight in ounces of water per day. Just for now, I want you to measure it out, put it in bottles, and take it with you all day. Sleep. So just for now, try to get 8 hours of sleep a night, and do it when it's dark. Okay? Maybe try to get to bed a half hour early or something. Breathing, just for now, remember, small steps. I want you to take a time out and take 10 deep breaths a day. Okay, you get your oxygen, you're good to go, you get your energy. Just be aware of what you are putting into your bodies. And eat what nature has provided you. The more man has touched the food, the worse it is. Movement. You should be able to move like a human being, pain-free. So check yourself against those 7 primal patterns that we talked about. Now, here's the thing, and I always get this, is when people start working on these things, these 6 principal foundations, they say, and they get some success, the first thing they say is, wow, I can't believe that sleep had such an effect on me. I can't believe food affected my mood so much. I can't believe just concentrating on water, I lost weight, I feel better, my joints are finally feeling great. So do not underestimate these 6 principal foundations, because we treat the person, we don't treat the disease. And once you are doing these 100% capacity on a consistent basis, then we can start addressing other factors. But do your best with these 6 principal foundations, have fun, and accept this as your new lifestyle. And remember, small steps. Do your best, and we'll see you again sometime. Hey Windsor and Essex County, we want to hear from you, our viewers, and we want your questions, we want your comments, and we want your feedback. And together, we can change our community.